Dallas. You could see them winning, again, like Dallas always does, 11, 12 games. You can see that scenario.
Dallas was the one where I don't have any problem with them being projected over the Detroit Lions. They're returning 8 Pro Bowlers from last season. They acquired Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks in the offseason. And I just think the power of a guy like Micah Parsons, I think he's one of the top 5 overall football players in the NFL. And he's going to take that step into being the best edge rusher in the NFL this year. So the Dallas Cowboys, despite them having a history of getting into the playoffs and not doing anything, I think they're going to be good. I think there's actually a chance, although I'm not calling for it, that they challenge for the Eagles in this division, in the NFC East. So I don't hate that one. The Cowboys I'm cool with.
Yeah, and again, like Seattle and the Cowboys, I don't have too much of an issue with. I don't. Minnesota and the Giants, I absolutely have an issue with.
The Minnesota Vikings, I cannot say enough horrible things about them right now. Do I have to repeat it again? Last season, they were the most fraudulent 13-4 team in NFL history. They were a ridiculous 11-0 in one-score games, which will never happen again in the history of life. They had a negative scoring differential on the season, which is unheard of for a 13-4 season, a 13-4 team, and a worse scoring differential than the Detroit Lions. They had a worse turnover differential than the Detroit Lions. They had a worse statistical offense than the Detroit Lions and a worse statistical defense than the Detroit Lions. And that is not all. They lost Dalvin Cook in the offseason, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and replaced him with Alexander Mattison, who has never had a 500-yard rushing season. They lost Adam Thielen, which I think drafting Jordan Addison, that's fine. That might end up being an upgrade, at least with Adam Thielen being up there in age. They lost Sedarius Smith, a 10-sack guy, and replaced him with half-sack Marcus Davenport. I get it. He's had some good years. He's had some good years, but last year he had a half a sack total, and it's not like he played 3 games or anything. I believe he played 14 or 15. I think it was 15. They lost Patrick Peterson, who is obviously a future Hall of Fame guy, but who is a little past his prime, but he still had 5 interceptions last year and played well. And they replaced him with Byron Murphy, who has 5 total interceptions in 4 seasons. They lost Dalvin Tomlinson, who I think is actually an underrated loss in the interior defensive line. They replaced him with Dean Lowry, which I also think is a downgrade. The Minnesota Vikings will win 5 games this season. I'm sick of these MFers. Get out of tier 2.